Our testimony and to share the work and love that He's done, in my life and all of yours. Growing up, so I was the youngest out of four. My biological mom, lost custody of all of us. She had me for the first 6 months of my life. I was with her, then I went with my aunt and uncle, and then back with her. I don't remember much, but I do know there's a bunch of malnourishment, neglect. I'd be so hungry or thirsty, they'd catch me, just doing unhealthy stuff. I would drink out of a toilet because I was so malnourished. And when I was 4, they told me I was going to stay at a friend's house, and they just dropped me off at a foster home. And I didn't see him again. And so then, I was just waiting for a family. So when I was growing up, it was Wonder Years would be on, or shows Home Improvement or whatever. I would just see these, reality TV families, and that's what I wanted. And when I got adopted when I was 6, I was like, okay, yeah, now I'm gonna have this family. I'm gonna, life is gonna start being good. And and it wasn't. After about a year, my adopted mom started, physically abusing me, and that went on until I was about 16. And by the time I was 18, my self-worth was just bar none. It was, I had no confidence in that I was going to be successful in life, or that I was going to be able to achieve anything because of all the stuff that happened up to me being 18. So I was going to join the Army, and it was either I was going to do the Army for 20 years and I was going to be good at it, or I'm going to go and I'm going to get deployed and I'm going to die. And in my mind, I was okay with that, because if I deployed and I died in Iraq, well then that's a guaranteed stamp of approval that I died on a positive note, that I wouldn't have died as a failure. And that's just where my self-worth was at. And so I joined the Army, got was 11 Bravo, was infantry, and obviously I didn't die, and obviously I'm not still in it. And I came back even more wrecked than what I was. I had pretty bad survivor's guilt, and that led to me becoming an alcoholic. And it was I was a mess. That's all I did is I drank. I'd wake up, I'd drink whiskey. We'd go on rough marches. I'd have my Camelback, that's what we put water in, full of Jack and Coke. And I ended up going to the military prison for a year because I went AWOL for 2 weeks. Just had a mental breakdown, turned myself in after 2 weeks, and I got sent to the brig. And after that, once I got out, I was drinking for 4 years, and then I got introduced to meth. And they say that there's 7 desires of the heart. These are the things that every person needs, fulfilled in order to feel loved. And you can either have it in the healthy way or unhealthy way. And the seven desires of the heart is to be chosen, to feel like that you're heard and understood, to get affirmations, to feel blessed, to feel included, to feel safe around your environment, and just like touch, not sexual, but just like, hey, how you doing? Or people patting you on the back, just acknowledging you. And I got all men in the wrong way for 5 years. In the most unhealthy way, I was getting those desires met. And it wasn't until I went to the Teen Challenge for 13 months that's when I really got introduced to God. and I started pursuing Him, and I realized that my aspect of love was just completely opposite of what it should have been. And I got wrecked. I got wrecked at Teen Challenge, about last July. My life was a mess. Everything that I was planning was falling apart. And that's when I honestly gave my life to the Lord. And since I did that, He's, nothing but blessings. Nothing but blessings that, there's not a thing that I could have done on this earth myself to be where I'm at today. I should be in prison right now for 120 months. I got a huge blessing from the court 3 years ago, and they should have sent me to prison, but they didn't. They put me on probation, and I messed up 5 times. And each time, for some reason, they kept, giving me chances. And, my son's I'm in my son's life. I came back from Iraq, 10 years. I didn't see him once, not once. And, when I was at last Father's Day, him and his mom reached out to me and they wanted to see me. And that's, that was probably one of the biggest moments that I was, as far as, God showing me that He cares about me and showing me the work that He can honestly do. Because my son approached me with no resentment, met me where I was at, and now I'm in his life. I graduated Teen Challenge and I came to Freedom Works on the board and lodging floor, and it was in my heart. It was in my heart that I wanted to help other people overcome the obstacles that I overcame, using the tools that I learned at Teen Challenge, or, giving my testimony, about the work that God's done in my life. And Freedom Works, they ended up hiring me a few months ago, and, I'm 33, and, I finally, God finally showed me what my purpose is, what He put me on this planet to do. And, all the hardships and everything that I went through as a child, and all the trials that I went through when I was deployed, and even all the muck of being a dope dealer and a meth addict. It all makes. I didn't understand why it was happening when it was, but now it makes sense because when I'm able to speak life into the participants at Freedom Works, when I'm able to help them overcome obstacles, it's an amazing feeling. And I'm not boasting in any skills that I have. I'm boasting in the work that the Lord has done in me. And Freedom Works, Randy, and Fred and his wife and George, they take chances on people that on paper, it's like, what are you doing? Like you're gonna hire Tyler? Look at his background, But they take chances, and that's what, men like me who, made a bunch of poor choices, they give us a shot, they give us a chance to show our worth or to just better our lives. And, I'm blessed to be at Freedom Works. I'm blessed to have a job there. And, that's all I got, guys. So.